bit. Fucking phone's cracked now. Oh man. Hey Jerry, how are you? Man, these brakes are all the way up today. It's not too hot here. It's a rather nice day. Just picked up the car from the shop. Perfectly quiet now. Brake pedals all the way up. What's going on, everybody? Jerry, what's happening? Pull that crap out on me, dude. Listen how quiet the van is now. $1,000 later, boys. $500 a wheel. Hi, Sandy. Watching the medals. Daddy needs a new pair of shoes and the ranch. What you doing with the medals? They had to do the whole thing. They don't turn down, it's not rotors, it's drums. They don't turn them down anymore. They're made too thin, too lightweight. They don't even turn down anything anymore. I had to get both sides done. So it was quite a job today. But the good news, that's the last brake job I'm ever going to need on this thing. It's easy to do the front brakes when you have disc brakes, but the back or drum, not so easy, boys. Be right back. I don't think we need the cooler, so. I need this coffee after the $1,000 bill, boys. California. Jerry Jones says, I've just been busy and couldn't do much lately. It seems like I've worked too full. Wow, it's a lot. All right, boys, let's get moving today. Well, we've had to buy a battery, we got brakes, and now I look at my phone today, I got a cracked screen. God knows how that happened. Not gonna worry about it, just get another thing. Just use my damn S10. I'm tired, boys. I've been bleeding in August. Absolutely bleeding, boys. Got every orifice. Shit, it's a good thing I paid for my book editing in advance. Holy hell. Yeah. That's the good news. It's weird to have the brake pedal up so high. I guess we were worn down pretty far, boys. Tooting down pretty far. Yesterday we didn't see our favorite flag girl. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be mine? What does this say? That truck finally moved. What does it say? Steals deals. I have no idea what the hell that is on that pole. Yeah, well, there goes a week's work into the brake job. People wonder, why can't we ever get ahead in life? Shit, brake jobs used to be $50 a wheel. Get all four done for $200, $250. Well, he's got to be the coolest guy. Panjay. Greetings, Tron. You can have a you cannot have a. You can have a Secretary of Energy meltdown. You can even have a Secretary of War meltdown. The Secretary of Education, Health, and Human Services. But you absolutely positively cannot have a Secretary of the Treasury go into meltdown mode, boys. So you have to become good at reading between the lines. And I hope to hell everybody saw my video from this morning. Those of you, those naysayers and people that said no, not true, nothing wrong here. Detour. Shit, we're going on a full detour now. Look at this shit. This is all I need today. Looks like the shopping cart's got the right of way. There's my girl over there. She's such a sweetie, man. Scott Bassett is melting down. I can tell you exactly what his conversations with the president are, Panjay. 100%. I can go word for word. I'll tell you exactly what the hell's going on. I'm going to give you the whole damn dialogue. I'm going to give you the whole word for word. Didn't use his signal, but what are you going to do, boy? You touch that shopping cart, you're in lockup tonight. That's a wheeled vehicle. That broad was just looking for a dust up. He was looking for a confrontation. But I got hard. I just let her wheel along. It's okay. I got no place I gotta be. I got cut off by the traffic cart, guys, by the shopping cart. There's so many shopping carts in this town now. Everybody and his mother ran here as a shopping cart. Yeah, so quiet now. No scraping, no nothing. Listen how beautiful. $1,000 it better be. Better damn sight be. I've done everything. New battery, new wheels, new drums. Let's get backed in here. There we go. All right, to the goof troop. I don't think we need the holder today. All right, let's welcome some people. Oh, we got a quiet crew today. So Panjay, here's the deal, bro. Here's the deal. All right, I'm gonna play all parts in this play. I'm gonna play myself. Okay, so I'm gonna be the president. And I'm going to be your Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent. Okay, this is back in like February. Okay, Scott, I need to get rid of this Jerome Powell. His term's coming up. It's expiring as Federal Reserve Chairman. You're my boy here in finance. What are you thinking? Well, Mr. President, I'm honored that you would call me and ask me my opinion about that. I think Kevin Warsh is your boy. Yeah, but Scott, do you think he'll lower those interest rates? You know, I can't be working with Jerome Powell. This guy's incompetent, right? He spent $3 billion renovating the Federal Reserve. I could have had my own company do it for $800 million or whatever. This guy's pissing money out of every orifice. I know, Mr. President. He's going to be a boy. Not convinced. The bond market the markets went ape shit today. All right, don't break my rhythm, Trog. Okay, so, Mr. President, I'll say it again, sir. I know your time is valuable. I don't want to take up any of your time. Kevin Warsh is your boy. All right. Kevin Warsh goes in. He has his first meeting, and nothing happened. He calls back, Scott. Your boy didn't lower interest rates today. Well, Mr. President, there's a few mitigating surges. Scott, I don't want to hear bullshit. Stop with the fucking excuses. You told me this boy was going to lower interest rates. Mr. President, it's, you know, some issues. We have some shit going on in Japan. I don't care about Japan. I don't have a Sony TV. What the fuck, dude? Don't talk to me about that. I don't care about Japan. Well, Mr. President, it's like the Japanese economic system is cut loose on us. I don't care about, what do I care about Japan? What do I eat sushi? Go talk me about something else. Okay, Mr. President. He didn't lower rates, my boy. And then Scott Bessent always has to give him the bad news. In April of 2024, that evening of the 16th or 17th, he had to wake the president out of his sleep and say, Mr. President, there's no market for U.S. securities in Asia right now. So here we are again, Trog, right back to the trough again. And, you know, I'm going to say it this way, Trog, and I've said it for 2 years. We're running out of options to how to keep this baby stable. And if you think of it in terms of being a nuclear reactor, it's sort of going into, the coolant is slipping below the level of the rods now. I think that's a very apt metaphor for what's going on right now. What's going on, Elmer? Please hit that thumbs up button, guys. It's theater of the absurd today. So, like I said in my morning video, you can't shift. You know, you think, let me tell you another thing, Trog, if you saw my video. You know you can't do things in secret in the Treasury. You can't have that cloak and dagger bullshit going on like you do in the Federal Reserve. So that's why he had to come out and make that announcement yesterday. What the hell are you doing? Fed buyer and seller last resort. It's not going to do any good to be the seller and buyer of last resort because that's been happening forever. Dr. Frankenstein, $1,000 today breaks. 5 bills a wheel. New drums. New cylinders, new brake pads, new adjusters. That's it. Read it and weep. So I've been bleeding this month, and then I see this afternoon my damn screen's cracked on my phone. Anyway, Trog. If the Federal Reserve, Panjay, no, I had them changed in LA in 2000, but I've racked up a lot of miles. I've probably racked up 70,000 miles, 60,000 miles since then. How you doing, Ronnie? So the seller of last resort, buyer and seller, that has to be disclosed in quarterly filings or monthly filings by the Federal Reserve. Great, maybe now the fundamentals, bet big, win big. What's going on, Dan the fisherman? How you doing today? Yeah, they were due. Don't forget the yen. So there's a lot of moving plates. There's a lot of plates on sticks here that have to be spun and maintained in the air. And today was a worrisome day if you're the Feds because the markets didn't buy the game. They didn't buy the market manipulation story. I'm not saying tomorrow they're not good, but I'm going to just say today. Yeah, I don't have to do it again. And they did a good job. My brake pedal is really high. The wheels don't make a noise. Dr. Frankenstein is perfect. They did a great job. That's why I go to Alfonso. At least I have somebody. I might pay the same as every other shop, but I never have to go back and say, hey, I've been dealing with him for about 10 years, so he knows I get all my oil changes, all that crap done. People in the chat in the Department of Wildlife, that's it. They run for cash and dump for positions. Well, look at it this way, Ponte. You got everybody on one side of the boat. We're listing hard to port here. which means any kind of rough waves come along where you could swamp the whole boat. In other words, you've run everything up as high as you can run it. These guys are flying around on their carts. I think you're in a black swan event right now. So if I don't miss my guess, they're having a three-way phone call with the Treasury Secretary, the President, and the Federal Reserve Chairman. The President's like, well, boys, how are you with animals? What does that mean, Mr. President? I mean, you boys better start pulling a rabbit out of your ass real soon. Nothing up my sleeve, presto. Well, I don't know that, Dan. I'm not sure of that. I'm not calling that. I mean, the market's endured far longer than I thought. Ronnie will tell you that. I'm not so much worried about the market. I'm worried it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. It's the aftermath of it that I worry about, not the actual event itself. That's, the people in the street will say, good, that affected all those rich assholes out there. They lost a lot of money or whatever. Doesn't bother me. Oh, it will. It will. That's what I worry about, the effect on the average person. So you wonder why silver and gold were up so strongly. Even Bitcoin got into the game today. What did the real thing? It's funny everything. Well, I don't know about hitting everything. Just suppose, Trog, that this was the testing of the safety net today. And for the first time ever, other nations just started walking away and saying, no, this ain't looking good. No country has to, no country should be playing these market manipulation, interest rate manipulation games. This is weird. If anyone can see a gun, really apply just the prices. No, nobody's talking about. There's no. We're at very high levels here, Trog. There's nobody issuing sell orders. There's no massive redemptions. I'm alone. I'm pretty much damn alone in the boat. So everybody's not seeing it coming. Everybody's denying it. Everybody has full faith and confidence in the Federal Reserve and the United States Treasury. So no, I would heartily disagree. Let's hit that thumbs up button, guys. Thank you. The point is, Walmart came out today and said that their sales were shit. They've gone from 10% year-over-year growth to around 2% right now, which is less than the rate of inflation. Things are slowing down. And what always happens when things slow down? What happens to interest rates? Yeah, that's it, Ponjay. How you doing, Ashley? Doing good. Not sure if they'll go like Kmart. But my point is that obviously, as I look around, I can tell that I get little cues that consumers are stressed. I look at people, fast food. I look at people redeeming their 401ks early and paying the penalty for early redemption. I look at car repossessions at an all-time high. I look at places like Las Vegas that are cutting apartment rents like there's no tomorrow over there. I get all kinds of little cues that things are slowing down a little bit. I wouldn't call this a black swan event because this thing's been a lot of years building since the 1970s. This is what caused women to flow into the workforce. This is what caused prices to go up so high. This is what caused gold to take off in the 1970s on the first wave. This is what led to the huge inflation in the 1970s. But unbelievably now, as things are slowing down, interest rates aren't going down. Quite the opposite, because the people that lend money to the government are saying to themselves, Jesus, they're going to come out with another stimulus package. The federal debt for July deficit was $430 billion. With 10 months to go, we're already at 1.8 trillion for the year, 2 months to go. Definitely going to break through 2 trillion. Yes, it's a confidence game. It's a confidence game, but the confidence is starting to weaken. I mean, people like Jamie Dimon have been on record for 2 years saying we got to get this deficit and debt under control. But we have the wrong political system to do it. So what happens is that the representative system gives way to the authoritative system. So I've had people asking me, do you think Trump's going to stay on? And, do you think that there's going to be an emergency and, we can't have elections? How in the hell do I know? I don't know if they're printing money. I mean, the Fed expands the money, it reduces the money. Whose fault is it? It's our fault, Jim Rockford. It's the fault of our form of government. Our form of government is at fault because to get elected, you can't say unpopular things like we need to raise taxes to pay off the deficit. People go batshit crazy. So you either take care of it, pay me now, or pay me later. You either take care of the problem in the 70s and you pass the balanced budget amendment, or it just spins further out of control. The economy gets weaker and it needs more and more support by the government, more and more stimulus, more and more deficit spending. Then you don't dare talk about even raising taxes anymore. Hello, Kelly. Glad to be loved. Thank you. In other words, the problem is way too big now to just be controlled. Well, you would not think so, but I would bet more that rates go up than they go down. Because we have a big problem attracting capital now. We have a big problem attracting people that are willing to hold our debt now. Yeah, thank you, Dan. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Trog, you have several levels. Kelly. You have several levels. First level, people have no idea how the economy runs. Second level is people have some basic high school, class in economics. They understand a little bit about banking and money and stuff like that. You have class 3, which is the people that have made a study of economics in general. Then class 4, you have people that have made a study of macroeconomic, big policy of governments. And then you have the 5th level, which is people that can connect ideas together there. I would argue that 70% of the people are on level 1, which means the bottom of the pyramid, the big fat part of the pyramid, is the last to always know what's going on. Well, I don't know what a foreigner is. I mean, I don't know. Jim Rockford, we're a nation of immigrants. We're being overrun perhaps by people that are adept at gaming the system of goodies. I don't know. But I know every year we legally admit a certain number of foreigners to become United States citizens, and it never really was problematic before. Times like 1910 with the Alien Exclusion Act, it was because of race. I think one of the great strengths of America has been its diversity. But as I said yesterday, when people come to this nation, not because they want to be American, but because they specifically want to grab the benefits that are available to people. People streaming across the border for years, they weren't waving American flags. North Calians, how are you? I don't think it's going to be too long, Kelly. It's just the average people now. My point was, Trog, most people are just hacking out a living. They get up in the morning, they go to work, they do their shopping. They go home, they click on the TV a little bit, they maybe play a video game or two, click on a little bit of Pornhub and call it a night. They're not trained to worry about the overall state of shit. They're just paid to be peasants on the land. We're all the peasant class. The risk when you're way up on level 5 is you tend to telescope problems. You see them coming. But they can be much further away than in time. Because there's always countermeasures. What do you do before bed? I brush my teeth. But look at it this way, Trog and Jim Rockford. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand a exponential function. You have a linear function, y equals mx plus b. The slope is never going to change. You have a exponential function, ax squared plus bx plus c. You have a curvilinear function, it goes like that. In less than 5 months from now, will be another $1 trillion added to the, probably more than that because interest rates are rising now. And the rate of increase is getting bigger every single day. To the point that people start to do the math and back of the envelope math, and they see how much cash is available in the world. How much free cash is available? We're sucking up all the money. So what do you do? Scott Besson says we're going to do a radical restructure or something. I don't know what that means. Congress controls the purse strings of the nation, so you can't, just willy-nilly cut programs and spending. I just understand mathematics, Shrug. I understand exponential functions. I understand what a parabola is. That's all you need to know about interest rates. As interest rates go up, all the old money that the Fed raised at cheap rates now has to be rolled over at higher rates. So what are the possibilities that, what's the playbook when shit gets bad? The playbook is that you just say, we're going to forcefully redeem here, issue here, and we're going to issue at a fixed rate, and that's it. That's one possibility. Very hard to attract money when you forcefully just lay down the rules like that. The other thing that they can do is try to have a moratorium, interest rate holiday or something like that. I don't know. See, there's not a lot of attractive options. I guess I don't think I'm serious tonight, Drug, but I'm just saying today's market told me that the world's not buying this. The world's not buying this situation anymore. They're not so willing to play along. They've seen us play a weak hand in Iran. They see us going over now to kiss Kim Jong-un's ass. Keep him cool, hose down so he doesn't blow it too. And all the while, China minds its own business and gets stronger. We got people in aircraft carriers that have been in extended employment or trying to jump off the side of the aircraft carrier. They're so mentally deranged. I know what happened on the Gerald Ford. Some guy down in the laundry room screamed Allah, Allah Akbar and set fire to the place down there. We have internal division here. We don't need a lot of external agents now. With the minority of white Americans. What's going on, Blue? Yes, be grateful for anything that you have. So I wouldn't say it's doom. I would say it's, at this point, it's practical. It's nuts and bolts stuff. Like, how do we deal with this, Trog? Okay, well, you can't sound doomish. You got to sound positive. Well, I'm open to suggestions, Mr. President. We could buy everybody a couple ounces of weed and just pretend everything's, oh, yeah, that's funny, Scott. Well, let me tell you, boy, you better pull a rabbit out of your ass real soon. So I don't understand that part of it. It should be clear, is crystal clear that as the economy is slowing down, interest rates aren't going down, they're rising, which the president and the Treasury Secretary know. Hi, Judy. Is exactly counter to the way that things used to be. And the president himself was talking about that. It used to be we'd have a strong economy, we would announce, and rates would go down. Because we're more efficient now, rates are going up, something's different in there. I try to appoint this guy, that guy, they all fuck up, they don't know what they're doing. So ultimately it means that you go the way of Argentina or something, which means people aren't dropping dead on the streets, but your standard of living is dropping dramatically. And that's what happens. Your dollar just becomes worth less and less and less, and your food gets shittier and shittier. I had a big discovery the other day. I was talking about our food system, and I thought pink slime was outlawed years ago. No, it's perfectly legal to put pink slime into ground beef. So that crap I was buying at grocery outlet is just 30% slime. Everything else that's left after the good stuff all gets thrown into the micro shredder and extruder, and it's all crap. Perfectly legal to sell. You don't even have to put on the pack. You can call it 100% beef. So this is how a standard of living goes down. That's all I'm driving at. We don't have to talk about it. We can talk about anything else. So Walmart's sucking, and that means probably that Amazon is sucking too. No more pink slime. Oh, I'm done, Judy. When I saw that pink slime has been allowed in, they sure are, Kelly, and I love you, girl. Chicken quesadillas. Okay, yes, they are. I didn't think pink slime because they're treating it with some chemical spray to raise the acid level to preserve it. Holy shit. All of a sudden I'm thinking, shit, Canada's brilliant. They don't let that crap in up there. Little by little, our standard of living is notching downward here. That's the reality of it. I can't remember the last time I had a quesadilla. Is there anybody, Trog, that could deny that? I don't think so. So if we gradually reduce the United States as a reserve currency, the implications are horrific. If you think it's doomed now, the cheap ground beef is terrible, Judy. It's gristle, it's tendons. They just micro grind that so it becomes like an extruded slime, and that's what's in those. That's what's in those plastic rolls of beef now. Well, I'm done with that. Done. Nothing is hurting my love. Canada's okay. I wouldn't have any hesitancy being a Canadian citizen. Hi, Mystery. Auto warm beer. Yeah, I know. I guess the point is, Elmer, if you're going to be in the country, you best behave yourself. I don't know what you're talking about. 95% you work on. I'm not going to become a Canadian citizen, but I would. It would be okay. You know, I got family down here. But I'm saying there's a lot of positives to Canada, resources that haven't even begun to be exploited yet. Canada is the most educated country per capita. They have more people with college degrees than any other nation per capita. And they're probably truly educated too, not the slop shit education we do. I don't know, maybe they have their Dr. Frankenstein, maybe they have their DEI bullshit in the classroom too. I don't know. As long as I don't have to live there. I don't think people know what ECCs are. Canada's wokeness is worse than I saw that when Indiana Fever played up there, and they booed Sophie Cunningham for saying that women's sports should be for women. Well, that's cool, Mystery. So yeah, there's a level of, there's also a great spiritual disconnect in Canada's. I think for its Christian roots, it's one of the most unchristian nations now in the world, with fewer churchgoers or anything. You know. Thank you, Adam. I think I'm going to write that down. I'm going to put a book at Atomisms. What I learned from my friend in Arizona. Well, they're trying to hype up the NBA, doctor. It's like the referees purposely don't call fouls, so the news talks about it, so everybody cries, and it's like, oh, it's awful that Caitlin Clark got elbowed or mugged from behind. What's wrong with these people? It's all contrived. It's all contrived to get eyeballs on it and all the stuff about gender and all. It's all contrived. Put a good high school boys basketball team, they would annihilate the WNBA. I'm so cute. I'm too cute. So I don't know what the level of wokeness in Canada is. I just know it's a well maintained, it's a beautiful looking country. I don't know. I've spent a lot of time in Canada. I think I would enjoy seafood at PEI in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. On to Quebec. I'd like to go all across Canada. Calgary, Edmonton. Go up there and watch an Oilers game. Kelly teases Sean. You don't know Kelly that well. Banff is lovely in the winter. Yeah, warm beer. I mean, don't go in February. Winnipeg. I would love to see Winnipeg. I'd love to see Ottawa. Oh, wow. Bring the mosquito spray. That's why I'd prefer to go fall, winter. Take the Z-Man. He can speak French for you. He's single and ready to mingle. Yeah, please hit the thumbs up button if you're coming in. It's appreciated. Thank you. I got the brake job done today, $1,000 later. 5 bills a wheel, new drums, new pads, new adjusters, new cylinders. All new, boys. Maine was bad. Maine was bad. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind. I feel like I can get a lot more. No noise, no nothing. Everything's perfect. High brake pedal that works. No rubbing noise, no nothing. So I think I got it done in Koreatown in 2001, something around there. What's the LOL? I don't see a new car in my future. I know the guy I have the truck from is coming back in September, so he's going to have he's going to be around for 3 months, so we won't have the truck. Oh, yeah, I couldn't imagine Judy going to Vegas with, I couldn't imagine going to Vegas with this. You know, it's one of those things that doesn't get better over time, it only gets worse. So I'm glad I got it taken care of. Painful. The downside is too big for me. Higher insurance a month. Yeah, I mean the average payment's $700 a month now. And 7-year financing. Remember, there used to be 3-year car loans, then 5 years, 7 years, some 10-year. Never finance a depreciating asset. most cars aren't going to appreciate. You know, there's in times of a lot of money creation and inflation, some older collector vehicles appreciate. Like what's in Jay Leno's garage. No, I couldn't be without a car. I've thought one month I might try to press myself to use public transportation just to see what it's like. Yeah, I just hope I don't have to get a car, that's all. Did you see my X message on page? I didn't see anything. Get a 1998 Toyota Corolla, it will be okay. Yeah, I think any Corolla's okay. I think it's a good basic vehicle. As long as you change the oil, you should be okay. But hell, I've gotten 130,000 miles out of this van. 20,000 when I had it, 22,000. So I'm not complaining, boys. I am not complaining. I got to remember to get my tomatoes in tonight. I got so many tomatoes. 2,500. That's about like mine, GTB. I haven't even had to change the oxygen sensor. I haven't changed the spark plug. The only thing I did at 100,000 miles was proactively put a new timing belt on. No, the new serpentine belt. Same place that wanted to charge $1,800 to fix the AC. I don't know, Kelly, that would be up to you. If you'd like to come back, you're always welcome. If you've got bigger fish to fry tonight, we'll wish you happy frying. I don't know what you'd get for $5,000, Adam. I remember the days I could just pick up a piece of junk for $500, $1,000. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to put the money in Dr. Frankenstein. The times I go to Vegas in the summer. That's nice. That's what the boss has. It's only got 35,000 miles. Wow, he's on his second Subaru. No, I wish I was losing weight. And I don't think I would ever go on a GLP. I walk a lot, I do a lot of exercise. I'll be back in Vegas in. I'll be back in Vegas in like this after the 6th of September, something like that. Boxers. Yeah, Toyota and Honda. Yeah, I went shopping at Costco. I got some new socks and some new drawers. And I got a nice Nike shirt too. Thank you. That apple fell far from the tree, gangsta. I think Trump may have caused everyone cheap gas and fuel from now. I'm not sure. I happen to believe, GTB, that forces are at work that are way beyond presidency at this point. You know, if somebody said, I'm going to lower grocery prices or whatever, you'd have to say, on what basis are you going to do that? Doesn't make sense when you're stimulating the economy by constant deficit spending to the tune of over $2 trillion this year, and probably 2.5 trillion next year. How can anything go down? I would think they'd be more expensive because it's easier to service a large city than you start getting up to the hills up there. You're probably tired of the bears now. I just don't know what the options are, GTB. I honest to God don't know what the options are. You know, it's like the movie No Way Out. I can't believe they tax groceries. Hey, Alan, at least here they don't tax groceries. Yeah, they got to get it somehow. I don't know if he said should cease being the reserve currency of the world. He's probably proactively setting the stage for that happening. So I told you guys we shouldn't be the reserve currency of the world. It's not that we should be. We were de facto the reserve currency, but that's starting to slip a little bit now. Because there's too many dollars being created that haven't been effectively earned through taxation and productive activity. So well, yeah, because we insisted in pegging the gold at an unnatural level to try to make it unattractive to people, so it would never go into a bull market. It would never be an investment vehicle. It would always be a statutory reserve item. So of course, as time goes by through the 70s, 80s, US is in there purposely keeping the price of gold down year after year after year. It doesn't take a lot of money to do that. It's a very simple, lean, little, tight operation. Maybe 3 guys at Treasury that just trade off. That's their job. Cap any move in gold. So what happened? All the gold finds its way onto planes and ships, and it leaves the country. The Chinese say if the U.S. is so stupid that they're going to put an artificial cap on the price of gold, we'll take it all. Then Trump turns around and says, this is ridiculous. We have X millions of ounces, let the price go. Well, who in the hell knows what we have? I don't know. Yes, they kept the price of gold down for political and economic reasons. So China can come along. Hey, Russ, China comes along and says, great. It's like a market where there's no price increases. Yeah, we'll just keep it coming, bro. Just India, yeah. Vietnam, yeah, we'll take some. So it's not like a conspiracy. It's us shooting ourselves in the foot. Now Scott Bessent might turn around and say, look, our gold holdings, this is what we say we have. We're going to market to the market. There's, I don't know, $1.5 trillion. So there it is. We hardly have. We're going to mark it up from whatever. $50, whatever the hell it is now. So we're going to mark it up to $4,400 an ounce, boys. There we go. All of a sudden we have $1.8 trillion. I'm not sure, Alex, how much gold is in the world. They say all the gold that's been mined in the world could form a cube the size of the base of the Washington Monument. That's it. You think we'll ever get the price of oil down? Might take a while because we've drained our own reserves here. And we've been acting like the gas station for the world for months now. So, you know, we're tapping our own shit here. Yeah, please hit the thumbs up. I think the president thought that the war would be over in a couple months, and that's it. Price of oil will decline dramatically when nobody's driving anymore. When people just park their cars and they get dust on them, and that's it. Gold is critical because it has psychology behind it. I don't know. I saw $5.52 a gallon today. Yeah, it also has real value in manufacture, in jewelry. It looks nice. And it has 5,000 years of history behind it. It's almost infinitely malleable. You can draw it into a string a mile long, into a wire. It's portable wealth. So people will always go for the gold. I also believe it'll be an important part of any future monetary system will be gold based. No, I don't watch Status Coup. All right, babe, this girl. I don't know. Not selling us anything that could be used for the best. Ronnie said he tried to get magnets. He couldn't get magnets for something. Yeah, that sounded good. It doesn't matter who assumes the presidency next. It's the outcome is the same, inevitable, or else accelerated and made worse. It won't be better. It'll just be an acceleration towards a socialist, communist economy where everybody is miserable. No creativity, no forward progress at all. There's the Lance camper van. This thing's starting to look a little ragged. No, this is a different one. We're too far past politics making a difference in anything. It's just too far. It's too far down the path now for empty campaign promises. So he took off. I wonder why he pulled in here. Our great limiter here, boys, is our standard of living. It can no longer be defended. The cost of borrowing to sustain it is too high. Life got a little harder, and every month the standard of living drops a little more. Like I said, the beef situation, I thought in 2019 that the slime was outlawed. No, the beef slime is still allowed to be put in and sold. So when you buy those tubes of beef, you're getting slime. That's a declining standard of living. You buy shrimp from Indonesia, where human waste just drains into these ponds and pools. Your standard of living has declined. When you eat lettuce from Mexico, there's a good chance you're having lettuce that's fertilized with and irrigated with human shit. That's why you don't buy tubes of beef. Yeah, well, we get it now. But some of us, Buttercup Baby, thought that was outlawed. Because before you put that in the tube, you have to spray that with ammonium chlorate and something to raise the pH of it. Well, you know what, babe? I hardly ever had ground beef. I hardly ever use it. So it doesn't really affect me. Well, we allow others to make decisions for us because we have a representative form of government. So we get exactly the legislature, exactly what we deserve. Yeah, ammonium chlorate. So who in the hell wants that? Yeah, well, you know what? It ain't going to be me again. I don't mind buying behind the meat case at Safeway because that's the real deal. It tasted like it. It was good. I had no issue with it, but I'm not using slime anymore. I thought we already had the battle of slime, that you couldn't put that crap in anymore. Where'd that come from? Where'd that come from, boys? That just slipped right under. Fine granulate. That shit's pulverized. So I'm off of that now. And when this shrimp's gone, I'm only having shrimp from behind the counter, from behind the seafood. Or shrimp that says local. I don't know all that stuff, how you work a meat counter. I never went to a butcher. I don't know how to ask somebody to do something. No, it tastes like shit. It smelled like a skunk's ass when I cooked it. Not anymore. I'll leave it for the next slob to eat. Yeah, you have to keep it fresh. You have to raise the pH. Yeah, that's what I did last time, and the ground beef was great. Ground beef was fine, fantastic. I enjoyed a hell of a nice burger. So I've done a lot of work that proves that the standard of living is dropping. The fact that more of our seafood comes from overseas, and nobody gives a shit what people are eating. Because the food companies have Congress in their pockets, Democrat, Republican, it's all the same. They're all a bunch of a-holes. Whatever, Buttercup. Please hit the thumbs up, guys. We're trying to get to 100 thumbs up before Buttercup baby kills me in here tonight. What I'm saying now, guys, we should be beyond politics now. Because whoever you vote for now is going to be powerless in the face of this. And whatever lever they pull is going to be hurtful. You know, I cut my shrimp way down. Yeah, I don't care about the Chargers and Niners tonight. I don't care about preseason. Oh, I'm sure it is, Ronnie. How do I know they're powerless? You tell me what they can do, GTB. You tell me what lever that they should pull. Let's suppose the Democrats sweep in, which is a distinct possibility in Congress, and have enough to easily override vetoes or anything like that. What would they do, GTB? They're already taxing the rich. We have a progressive tax system here. That 90% of the taxes come from 10% of the people. So that's null and void. Yeah, all the preseason is to just earn a position before the final cuts when the season begins. Taxing's not the answer. We already have a progressive tax system. That's always what people say. It's the most inane response that you can have, as if the rich don't pay tax. The great bulk of taxes paid in this country are paid by the wealthy, not people earning $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year. But that's a good populist thing you can throw out there like red meat. We're going to tax the rich, as if the rich don't pay taxes. I don't know what subsidies they get. You either earn the income or you don't. If you try to shield the income and you put it in alternative assets, then you put yourself at the mercy of market forces. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. You can't have deferred income anymore. That's it. You don't have 5-year income averaging anymore. That's it. Okay, pays 45% taxes. I mean, what the hell do people want? Poor people never created a job, GTB. No offense to Adam, but that's expecting Adam to create jobs for other people. It ain't never going to happen. No poor person ever created a job. So when you champion the poor and hold them up as the great future of America, you better think twice about it. What's going on, Deal for Real? How you doing, Cindy? I say tax the corporations more. A generation that thinks panhandling is work exactly, or being an influencer. Hey, Val. Yeah, we don't have enough people to fill the jobs. I wonder why. Because they're not enough to support the standard of living that people want. It's good, Val. And there's a big problem, Buttercup, because those jobs can't afford to pay what people want to live on. Well, that's part of the NGO bullshit, Adam, that exploded here in the last 20 years. Anybody could appear before their county council or their city council with their hat in hand and say, look what we want to set up here. We just need your funds, like the Redwood Empire Food Bank. That's up to cities. I told you in Pittsburgh, they have 5 companies that are all beneficiaries of government spending. The federal government, Department of Energy, paid the equivalent of $140,000 for every job created at that battery plant in Pittsburgh. A crazy storm. Well, that's okay. That's okay, Ronnie. They just passed a law in Massachusetts. You can kill a baby right up till the moment of birth. No problem. Why would you stop at just that? There'd be no natural barrier. Well, that's the normal course of things, Buttercup baby, but you have people now that think a job is beneath them because it doesn't pay what they think they're worth. And they don't have the benefits anymore. They don't have a defined benefit plan. They have a defined contribution plan, which means that all the risk of the future is laid onto them. So when all these 401ks that are invested in the market hit the shitter, the company will bear no responsibility for that. We did our part. Don't look at us. Well, they're all over the place, Adam. There's people ripping off government through NGOs left, right, and center. Sadly. Oh, I can't believe that mystery. Yeah, the corporate responsibility is done. So when the 401k craters, it's like people be screaming, the corporation should make us whole. They put us in this situation. No, what shouldn't have happened is you should have never have managed your own money. That's what should have happened. You should have never gotten your mitts on that money to manage it. Well, you hyper concentrated us in 7 companies. We were supposed to be diversified into the S&P 500. We were in the S&P 7. You lied to us. Hey, it's an automatic. It's brainless investment. What are we supposed to do? Kids keep blaming me and Gen X and early. I mean, we have to. I think I wrote a book, and in the last chapter, I apologized to the young people. I'm going to be honest with you. I said, I'm going to flat out say it here. We really dug a $40 trillion hole, tossed you a shovel, and said, get digging. Yeah, I think our representative form of government is a disservice because it lends itself to abuse of expansion of fiscal ineptitude. Which means we took Keynesian economics of stimulating during hard times, and now we're stimulated all the time. A constant hard-on to spend money. So instead of raising taxes, quote, when we're in a boom, unquote, don't raise taxes. What politician can get elected if he says, I want to raise taxes? Mamdani, because he grabbed for the car to tax the rich. You'll see how that works out for him. I never heard of an Asha Ealing. I have no idea who you're talking about. Yeah, well, there's a lot of truth. This guy always shows up in the wrong chat. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe this guy's thinking Oshkosh or something. Many my company at not being around. I'll just say that it's a lobbyist, but it's also like I don't know what to tell you. I mean, yeah, of course, morally it's wrong. You've sucked the juice out of the lemon. You've got the Social Security, you're getting the Medicare, which is eating the federal budget alive. You're getting X days of skilled nursing care or nursing home care. What are the young people getting? Shitty jobs. And tax increases that, if they come, are absolutely going to kill them. It's a declining standard of living that can no longer be defended. And the sooner people realize the reality of that, the better. They thought AI was going to improve the standard of living. It's going to accelerate the decline faster. Because as I said this morning, the economy of the West was built on information and the processing of information for the last 50 years. AI comes along, it destroys the value of that knowledge. It commoditizes it cheap. What takes its place? Manufacturing? They got the shaft. I admit it. I said, I'm sorry. We should have done better. It wasn't really on purpose, but borrowing was so painless. We didn't have to raise taxes. It's just, you got to understand, we got to get elected. Who care? The average taxpayer doesn't care if we're borrowing over here. They don't see it. Well, decent care for the elderly is not going to exist in a lot of places. What you're going to do is be forced back to the family model. And if you don't have family, you better find a family to graft yourself to. So I'm very honest with you. Yes, I think we did a tremendous disservice. So when millennials and Gen Zs come on here and say, "Oh, you baby boomer, you effed us over so bad," I mean, what do I say? I mean, yeah, not me personally, but okay. But they would understand the dilemma we're in, that you can't put somebody in like a president says, "I'm going to raise taxes." So what do? You go for the few rich and you demonize them. The very people that create the jobs in the industries and the thing. What job did a poor person ever create? Zero. So before you go lionizing the poor people as if they're some great asset, they're not. Well, that was a traditional model up until the 1970s. Adam, nursing homes were non-existent in the 1920s, 30s, 40s. What goes around comes around. These are just my opinions. Ronnie, put the disclaimer up. Please hit the thumbs up button too, guys, by the way. Yeah, and they pop babies out for benefits because that's the way the system was incentivized people. Like here, the more children you have, the more benefits the bigger your check is every month. So why keep the legs closed? As if you're doing the kids favors. Yeah, that's right, Dr. Frankenstein. They were also the product of scam. The most recent wave of immigrants came from countries where people have to scam, cheat, steal, fraud, thieve, possibly even murder to get money. They bring that habit of theft right into the nation with them. Because that's all they know. You just double tap the screen twice, Nobi. They don't benefit the nation at all. And the more they dig into, like California, Wisconsin, Minnesota, the more they find the tremendous levels of fraud that have been perpetrated in daycares, Medicare, Medicaid. Thank you. Yeah, these are just my opinions. Oh, I'll get my usual dosage of hate mail tomorrow. As if I caused the problems here. But that was a good question. What do I feel about people from the younger generations that they'll be complaining a lot more loudly? A lot more loudly. You better gird your loins. Alex, how are you? Hospitals work on. I think you overestimate the impact of homeless people in the whole equation of an economy. You're seeing more and more people that are living in their cars and vans and things like that. They will no longer get a foot on the housing ladder, and more people will be forced into co-share arrangements through boarding homes and things like that. What was is what will be again. I don't know. They don't work for our business. Yeah. I really wanted to. Yeah, I mean, I got to be honest with you, Novi. I have to be honest. It's not that I and people in the boomer generation, because I'm pretty much on the tail end of it, that purposely set about to stick it to a future generation. It's just the natural flow of our political system. Once the initial blowback in the 70s and things from raising taxes entered the system, then it became touching the third rail. First thing your campaign manager would say is, don't ever talk about taxes. Don't ever say you're going to go in there and raise taxes. But it shows you in New York City the level of desperation among the voters has reached a point where people will take the option of, quote, tax the rich, to thinking that's going to help them out of their problems. If anything, it's going to accelerate the problems because it's going to lead to capital flight to places like Florida. Good jobs are hard to get. Yeah, you're a Gen Xer. We flatten that down, like, a career. At Starbucks, somebody said, well, you could be a manager or something like that. What the hell does that mean? It's so flat. Well, they are, because that's the nature of the internet, Buttercup, baby. I mean, I would definitely agree with that. Because we open a window on people that live that lifestyle, but a lot of that is a Potemkin village of fake frontage. What was the woman, Buttercup, baby, that was on Long Island, and her husband was a big time, I don't know, Wall Street trader or investor or real estate guy, and she would throw these lavish parties and post them up on Instagram in the Hamptons, and then one day her husband offs himself, and she finds out that he was so heavily in debt. Her life just spiraled right down to the bottom. I don't know, some Jewish woman or her husband. And they were big time on Instagram and put their life out there. Look at our garden party, and big socialites, paying $20,000, $25,000 a month to rent a house on the Hamptons. And it was all fake. I mean, be careful, because anybody can leverage their life up at any time to look like, if you have any kind of credit. Roosevelt could be in a Cadillac tomorrow, and you'd have to say, what's wrong with this picture? Or guys, I'm going on an around the world cruise on the QE2. Yeah. They had a whole story about her. I mean, it was kind of sad. She seemed like a nice woman. She was shallow. She She tried to have the Lisa Vanderpump lifestyle. And she depended on her husband's, and he didn't want to disappoint her and look like a schlub. So once the game begins, you buy the tickets, you take the ride. No, I don't. I would disagree with that, Adam. To anyone going on drinking bottle and drinks without ice. How you doing, GTV? Yeah, I've never gone on a cruise. I don't imagine I'll ever go on one. No, that's Hunter Thompson. Fear and Loathing. You buy the tickets, you take the ride. So you're going to see a lot of people living in cars. It's going to be common. There'll be carport parking lots with showers and, a security guy, just like they have here in Santa Rosa, where you can park safely. You're not in people's neighborhoods. You don't have to dump your ugly ass trash all over the streets. Some of these shopping malls just bulldozed like they did down in Hawthorne. They took down the Hawthorne Center, just turned it into a 5-acre parking lot. That's it. No, I didn't read Mystery. But I do know Vegas is coming unhinged in some areas. In some areas it's fine. For retired people, it's beautiful. For the people working, it's not so good. But remember, Vegas did a lot of the trouble. It created, casinos create a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble because they put the prices up so high. They introduced 6 to 5 blackjack in place of 3 to 2. They put triple zeros on the wheel of roulette. It just torpedoes your odds. You might as well come into the door of the casino, allow them to turn you upside down and just shake your money out. And if you think that the slot machines are any better, you got another thing coming. That bites you in the ass. It's like for, what was it, Dr. Frankenstein, for 80 years, 90 years, we could let you have a good chance of winning. Maybe you get a little run of luck. Maybe you win 10, 20,000 bucks in Vegas. But now we can't afford to give a game that has a decent chance for you to maybe win something. And over the long haul, we make our money. We need to get all that right now. And that's exactly what they did. Would you work for a casino? Only as a casino technologist. Can you believe old people aren't safe? I'm not going to say that. I was going to say something mystery that would keep you awake at night. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to check myself because I like you a lot, and I'm not going to say it. You're not old anyway, but I'm just saying. I think they introduced that when they came out of the pandemic, Dr. Frankenstein, and they saw whatever you put down, people will play it. Their math knowledge isn't there. They don't understand what it does to the odds. Say it, Rosie. We need to hear it. No, I'm not. I don't think I can say it. I can't bring myself to say it. I care too much about the people here. Imagine bankrupting a casino. How about this, Vista? How about Fontainebleau bankrupts itself? Yeah, it's recent, Dr. Franks. We went 90 years giving people taking a 1 to 3% edge, 4% edge. Now we need 12%, 14% edge. We're just dry humping our customer. That's it. Yeah, please hit the thumbs up if you're just coming in. Thank you. Yeah. I don't want to say it because it's just too, I want to imagine it won't happen. A friend of mine lives in Venice. He said his rent is for, wow, I'm in Bakersfield. Bakersfield is saving me being a U.S. matter. Well, thank you for your service, Nobi. And it's not like saving you. It's not like you get it for free, bro. You earned it. My daughter, my son-in-law are going to be vets. An actual ball bouncing around seems more random. I appreciate anybody to serve this nation. That's the best of the best of the best. Yeah, thank you, Novi. Am I in danger? No, I don't think you're in danger. Mystery, all I'm saying is you have to recognize there's a pile of X dollars, and then there's X plus Y that needs money. You have X dollars, but the needs are X, Y, and Z. You have to ration that money in. And every year, maybe things slow down like now, and there's minus X, and it's X minus 0.05X. There's some declining amount of revenue coming in. But the things to spend it on are expanding. The money that the U.S. Treasury spent on Medicare just in the month of July exploded over just 2025. Yeah, Fontainebleau is 15 years late. Well, I'm just saying, Buttercup baby, we have this pile of money here, and we have that pile of money plus 30% more that needs it, 40% more that needs it. Yeah, Lord, I don't know how anybody lives $13 an hour in Virginia. I hope the Lord there's very few people on. That should only be college students, high school kids, people like that. Mystery, what I'm saying is things have to be cut. And if they're not cut, then the cost of them, because of inflation, reaches a point where maybe you're paying $800 a month for rent. And now your landlord says, I got to pump you up to $1,200 a month. Effectively, your entire standard of living goes down at that point. Yeah, federal, I don't even think they bother adjusting it anymore. I mean, working for $725, I don't know. Right? What I'm saying is that we're coming to a point, it doesn't have to do with granny kidnapping. It comes to a point when people are older they become the greatest burden on the taxpayer system. The cost of their upkeep far exceeds any sort of monies that were paid in. Because the assumption was the next generation was expanded in size, there would be more people, the pyramid, and we would easily be able to accommodate these expenses. But in case you haven't noticed, we have many fewer young people today. We have the workforce with the participation rate that's lowest since 1948 because we made work optional for people. If I moved in with Granny, might not be a bad alternative. You might eat well. I don't think it's all weekend at Bernie's. Does that make sense, Mystery? Yes, idiocracy is playing out in front of us because it's just, it looks like an idiot's game now because it went too far down the track. When did what happen? I mean, you can see the president every day. He's starting to talk about, he can't believe that interest rates aren't going down because, that's the topic of conversation that's dominating the White House right now. He's saying, Scott, we're looking at a serious crack up if you don't do something, bro. Look at the revenues. Look at the expenses. Figure something out. Anybody deny that? Anybody think that conversation isn't taking place at the highest levels these days? Well, you told me to hire Walsh. I hired the guy at the Federal Reserve. The son of a bitch can't even cut rates. All of you guys are useless as tits on a bull. Well, Mr. President, it's not as simple. Bullshit. I ran a multi-billion-dollar corporation. It's easy. Well, that's what it's, yeah. Well, it all started in the 1930s with the Great Depression because you can't have people starve to death. Roosevelt saw people start to accumulate in cities that agitators would come in and seed ideas about socialism and communism. They would hold rallies, give out hot dogs, beer. Boys are going to show up. They're going to get a little rah-rah. And the idea starts to take hold, and then, oh man. We can't let that happen. So we're going to have to feed people, which is the proper thing to do. But here's the improper thing, was putting people back to work. Because at that point in March of 1933 and in April of 1933, the federal government did two things. Number one, it called in all the gold in the nation. Said it's illegal for you to have double eagles, $10, $20 gold piece. Bring it all in, turn it all in. And second thing they did was start spending money that they didn't have. In a lot of ways, what choice did they have? They had Maynard Keynes, the economist from London, said when times are bad, you should borrow money and spend it like crazy to stimulate the economy. And when times are good, you should claw that back and raise taxes and get that money back. Well, we were good at the first part, but we never raised taxes when times were good to claw back that money. Yeah, $40 trillion is a tremendous burden to throw on a young because, I don't know, maybe application AI will be beautiful. I don't know. But as I talked about the other day, the educational system of this nation is so effed. Well, they're like, right now we're at all-time highs. Everybody should be happy. We shouldn't even be having this conversation. It should be like, it's like I said before, this is the first boom in my lifetime or I've observed in history with markets at all-time high. If you told me when I got out of college one day the Dow will be 52,000 and the NASDAQ will be 25,000, I'm looking at Dow 777 in August of 1982. I'm like, shit, we're all driving Cadillacs in the future, man. But then look today how many people are struggling in a boom. Because the boom is taking not just the fat out of the economy now, but the muscle. It's squeezing people like a lemon right now. And corporations don't give a shit. Hi, Kellyanne. You'll get something. I don't know what it'll be. I don't know. But think of it this way: Social Security and government pensions they're a historical anomaly. And there's a basic productivity equation that to consume you have to produce. And even if you're 80 years old, we got to stick a plow on your back and you got to get in the plow line and get going. Sorry, boys. Once you start making an exception and you start carrying people along, then it never ends. The door goes wider and wider and wider. And once you start putting a psychological overlay on top of things like laziness, it's impossible to close that door again except by radical means. Yeah, their asset protection. Can you imagine Star Trek encountering some of these people at the door of Walmart? The economy balanced the budget, GTV, but that was because we were producing real things in America. Our manufacturing was still here. Western Electric was still intact. Bethlehem Steel, U.S. Steel. Now these food companies, these department stores, they're like, man, we can't be in a city anymore. We got our clerks running around having to open cabinets so people can get out razor blades or, condoms or something. Man, we ain't got time to have people run around like that. These condoms, is it okay if I go in there? Do you have a dressing room I could try these on? I'm afraid, GTB, and I hate to sound this way, but it's mathematics now. And what does that mean? It's the mathematics of compounding a curvilinear function, ax squared plus bx plus c. The debt compounds faster than the economy can grow. We have debt compounding at almost 5% on the long end, and we have an economy growing at flat right now. That's not a good, I mean, show me a way out of that and I'll be a happy camper. I'm going to use you some of the street. These are I to watch for. Yeah, Ukiah. I think maybe I'll take Terror up to Ukiah. I don't know. Yeah, the debt is on the end of a parabola, and we're reaching a point where it's untenable. Where Scott Besson can say, Mr. President, I don't know what to do. There are some levers that the Federal Reserve has, but it's monetization of debt. It's the path to Argentina. It's a path to hyperinflation. You just inflate the debt away, people's savings and things like that go. I don't know if I don't know, GTV. I'm not that smart to say the president gives up. I'm just throwing my ideas out here that I could be as wrong as I could be right. But so far, events are proving me pretty correct here. All this started in April of 2024. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't understand because he doesn't have a depth of understanding of macroeconomic financing. He thinks AI is a wealth creator when AI is actually a tremendous wealth stripper. It took the value of knowledge and process knowledge through software licenses and things, and it's just stripping that of its value. And then AI itself commoditizes to just give it away. It has no value. So what leg does the United States economy stand on at that point? That big leg that supported America for 50 years is gone. So Sam Altman of OpenAI builds himself a bunker. And you think I want to be above ground when the shit hits the fan? I want to be in my fort with claymores, push that button, boom. There's some more people at the line, Chief. Blow it. Blow those claymores. I mean, you think it's normal for these idiots, Oracle boy Ellison, and to have his little island, and Sam Altman to have his little compound? Where's the boom for a market at 52,000? Where's the trickle down? These corporations are just squeezing the last bit of juice out of this baby. So the nukes are going off. I'm not sure what that means. Invest in Waymo. Waymo's okay. Waymo will have competition. I just sat in a meeting. We early 20. We have no internet. It's laughable. Boy Blue, I'm not sure what to say. I mean, I don't know. No, you'll have competition for. It'll be like having a taxi or whatever. It'll be the same because remember, with Waymo, you're also competing with individuals running around with Uber and Lyft. Yeah, I say good luck, Boy Blue. I'm kind of at a loss to what to say about that. Really. Our educational system has failed us because we steered people away from hard things and towards soft feely, touchy feely, diversity, equity, inclusion, these ridiculous degrees. As if a modern society can afford to have that many navel gazers that sit around. Yeah, I got some apple galette. Yeah, came in very it is a good plant. Trucking. They can't wait till they get the first FTC and NTSB go ahead, Department of Transportation, to start running around driverless semis. They'll say, well, they're just going to have them in the city. If they have an accident or they freak out, it's going to be a low-speed accident. Nobody's going to get killed. We're not going to run them on the highways. Phantom 409. The boys had to go stop Phantom. I don't know. Chinese aren't as far behind as you think they are. All-Star Cab Company. Here's the star lineup, boys. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. What am I in the mood for tonight? Japan is a very sad nation right now. They have all those houses in the countryside. The people die. Nobody wants them. They advertise them in the U.S. Some of these influencers go over. They buy a place for $18,000 U.S. Discover there's nobody around. Nobody speaks English, and it's just like, what are we going to do today? Well, the same thing we did yesterday. I don't know, but it might bankrupt us first. Truckers are running. Wow, shit, Vista. I don't even want to be there I hope I'm not on the road, man. When the boys start running the ghost vehicles off the road, holy crap! Right into the TA truck stop. Wow. It was Phantom 409. He pulled that wheel at the last minute coming down the road and saved the lives of every child on that bus. Phantom 409, and today they remembered the name of Big Jim. And Phantom 409. GM is not earning the cost of their capital, nor is Ford. Means it would be far more efficient at the current time if they were just closed the doors, liquidated their assets, put it into cash, and put it into treasury bonds, treasury notes. Right now, they're very efficient cash burning machines. They fumbled on the electric vehicle shit. Phantom 409. Real automation doesn't resemble humans. Well, you don't have to drug test them. Well, GM went out of business before, right? I mean, they're not unfamiliar with bankruptcy, so will they ever go out of business? No. Kodak still has a name floating around. Westinghouse still has a name floating around. There's a company remanufacturing vacuum tubes under the Western Electric name out there. I mean, nothing ever really disappears. But the standard of living demanded to build a car and work on that assembly line is far different than the standard of living to build a Chery automobile in Shanghai. Don't forget Polaroid, yeah. Two nations trade, their standard of living has to equalize. Britain is the one that's really, really hollowed out right now. That's where the political dominoes fall first. They allowed their culture to be totally undermined. And the years of socialist government and the welfare state there. Germany will be a bit behind. The worst thing Germany ever did was join the economic union. Yeah, they have much larger problems. Hey, Kelly. So I kind of have my money on them as the lead horse in the Kentucky Derby of social unrest right there. They've already shown in Ireland and in many places in the United Kingdom that people are starting to get a little bit frantic. Yeah, that's good, Kelly. I'm not as negative on the Canadian dollar as other people. Yeah, eat that dinner. Paid high taxes, they got high services, but now they don't know where to apply the tax, Dr. Frankenstein. They even tax TVs that you have in your house. There's this desperation to find revenue and and there just ain't a hell of a lot of wealthy people. There's old wealth, but it's not the kind you can readily tax. It's not earned income. Love you too. Love all the ladies. So, and then people have to see immigrants that are stepping to the front of the line with benefits and things because they're not classed as immigrants, they're classed as asylum seekers now. Which doesn't matter to me. You classify people any way you want, but that's what they're considered. And when you're an asylum seeker, That puts you up at the top of the heap. So all the guys that show up are young single males. They wouldn't even know what the hell asylum is. But if from East Germany, you're doing well. You'd have to ask. You'd have to ask Elmer that. Because people, Dr. Frankenstein, you have an entrenched social welfare system that employs a lot of people in the UK, far-reaching through the National Health Service. So it's in their interest to keep expanding their domain and expanding their reach, and people learn what to say on the forms, the proper form, the box to check. You know, we were beaten savagely for going out at a political rally. Hell, they wouldn't even know what the hell a political, you too, Kelly, they wouldn't even have a political rally. They wouldn't even know what the hell a political rally is. No, the tariffs could not have worked. The tariffs are a last-ditch attempt to force manufacturing into this nation. You don't tariff services. And our economy is 70% services now. When you have people earning 80 cents an hour in China and people earning, you know, $18 an hour here, it's very hard to make manufacturing make sense. Competitive manufacturing. Yeah, please hit the thumbs up button. It is appreciated. Oh, by the way, I got the van back, $1,000, $500 a wheel. Yeah, so yeah, giving all that money back to the corporations. It's a cheap, easy grab to lighten the budget deficit, but not when they have to pay it back. Because it's not coming back. Plus, the people that work in China, they work hard. They're respectful. They know they're going to work their ass off. But I tell you, they look around their nation today and they see the results of the fruits of capitalism. We're seeing the fruits of a managed economy. An economy that carries so much dead wood of unproductivity that it's just choking it. It's like a big weight on the back. He ain't heavy, he's my, oh no, hell, he is heavy. I got 4 brothers on my back. It's heavy, man. Don't sing that song again. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. And the road is long and winding. I got 4 on my back. shit. Here we go. This thing wasn't even advancing. Good night, Alan. Damn, sorry. The road is long. Yeah, that was a lot of money. Yeah, they work in old age and they have family arrangements, so they don't. Yeah, they don't have. The same. They have a familiar sense of filial duty towards their parents. That it's assumed it'll fall to the oldest in the family, male or female, to take care of the parents. Ronnie, am I fiddling? Am I fiddling? I think most here are wiser. Then I noticed today the damn glass on my phone is busted. I don't even know how the hell that happened. Son of a... That's sweet. Another treat that makes August extraordinarily expensive here. It's been crazy. And the road is long. Do 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 do. I had one, but it wouldn't have helped in this situation. I had to take that thick screen protector off. Humid yesterday in the famous Texas heat. There you go. I don't know if you can trade it in with a broken screen. Shit, it seems like I hardly got it, boys. No, these screens are at least $2 bills. No, I didn't have the screen protector, but I have the rubber case on. Yeah, they can fix it, but the screen is expensive for it. All right, I'm gonna go get some peanuts and. I think I'm gonna be at Cindy's one night next week. And the road is long. And my welfare check bounced today. La boo 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 boo. I had to sell my la boo boos anyway. I don't know if I had a Tamu. I don't know what the hell I had for it. Whatever it was shitty and cheap. So who pays the price? I pay the price. Boy, this brake pedal is so high now. Holy smokes. And the road is long. Oh boy. Man, I got a whiz. They bled. I don't know if they had to bleed the brakes. Yeah, they probably did because they changed out the cylinders. No, tomorrow's Friday. Oh, you're fine. I'm tired myself too. There's my girl. There's my girl working late. And the road is long. Towers of Doom. I did a long walk today, going down to and from, dropping the truck off and going back and picking the van up. And Monday I got to get the oil changed. And it's like I had a lot of expenses. Living La Vida Loca. Living La Vida Loca with some crazy ass Rancho cats. Living the Vida Loca. I'm half tempted to make some ketchup tonight. What's on the menu? I don't even know. I got that leftover pasta from last night, Boy Blue. We did restaurant quality pasta with fresh Rancho tomatoes. I got to go get the tomatoes in from drying. I'm living the Vida Loca, Loca Vida, Vida Loca. All right, let me put my busted camera into here now, my phone. Wow. What a bummer. It's turning out to be an expensive month, boys. Yeah, the apple dish turned out great, Boy Blue. It turned out wonderfully. Beyond me expectations. Now I got nice brakes, no noise. But it was costly. Shop time's $2.50 an hour now. And we're living La Vida Loca. Oh. It's those crazy cats. They make me batshit crazy. If Rosemary Lopez sent me something today, I want to wait till she's around to open it. Yeah, the 17-year locust, as we call them on the East Coast. Living the lead loca. All right, back in a momentito, boys. Oh, boy. I'm not crazy about this one Bed Bath and Beyond smell here. Seaside, oceanside hydrangea or something like that. Let me get in my glass. Where the hell did my glass go? Right. Living la vida loca. Here comes Dr. Frankenstein's favorite time of day. Guys, please hit the thumbs up button. We are so way behind tonight. To hit that like button.
Israel's genocide in Gaza. Here's a brief summary of some of the latest developments this week.
They need to get a new tune.
Lebanon. In Gaza,
So we can have a shot tonight. I think I'll save that for later.
Against the looming water shortage due to Israel's ongoing blockade of fuel, infrastructure materials, and spare parts, pushing municipal services toward collapse. On Wednesday, Israel carried out the latest serial murder of Palestinian civil police and security personnel. At least 9 were killed and many more were wounded in a missile strike.
Oh man, pink slime, baby!
In Gaza City, amid the tents of thousands
pink
of
slime.
displaced people.
Yeah, we had locusts everywhere in Maryland. You'd find the shells on the trees for years.
Gaza's Interior Ministry.
Yeah, cicadas, they were lousy. Yes, many times I've encountered the crickets. They suck, and especially when it's really hot in the morning and the sun's there, they like to be right in the sun.
Has emboldened the occupation to commit further
Right in the sun.
The police force. The ministry added that all claims made by the Israeli perpetrators
They were a real pain in the ass. I didn't really see any this year.
assertions that the army was targeting resistance leaders, quote, are baseless, and the occupation is working to dismantle the police force in order to spread chaos in the Palestinian society.
It was like that year 2024 when it was super hot for like days down there.
Brigadier General and acting director of the Gaza
And I'd come out of the room at the Oasis and those things would be on the wall, on the balcony.
the director of the Governorate's Women's Police Department, Colonel Fatima Abdul-Jabbar al-Saqar, Colonel Ibrahim Abdul-Rahman Tamraz, Colonel Ala al-Adyan, Lieutenant Colonel Hazem Jabr Khalaf, Major Othman Shahata Abu Sam'an, and Lieutenant Samahar Misbah Hamada. Reporter Fayez.
Yeah, that shoreline hydrangea, Bed Bath and Beyond. I'm not digging that smell.
Some of them with serious wounds. Bodies of those killed were also being attended to, including one person who was decapitated in the attack. A child, 13-year-old Danya Haitham al-Jamasi, was also murdered in the Israeli missile strike. Writer Mossab Abu Toha found a 2021 video of Danya from her school's website, singing an alphabet song in her 3rd grade class.
You don't like lizards, huh? It's a mystery. Why did you come to the conclusion about Asheville so quick? Oh, we heard the same damn thing on the news last night.
Danya was killed on Wednesday. The Hamas political party called
Yeah, I need a little bit of carbs.
quote, a new Zionist war crime, which reveals the determination of the government
Oh,
and
no.
war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu to evade its obligations.
Boy, Blue, I guess you got lightning bugs up. You got to go check it out for yourself, Mystery.
And completing its subsequent stages. Hamas pointed out that the timing of the massacre coming on the heels of recent meetings with mediators.
It's hard to believe homeless could survive the winter in
ceasefire, as well as meetings with Board of Peace member and
There.
Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner confirms that the Israeli regime is deliberately undermining any next steps in the agreement. Hamas added that Israel is dangerous.
our standard of living has been declining since the 1970s. It's just now you're seeing the visible decline. That's all.
Adhering to what was agreed upon, according to the Arabic language Palestinian outlet Al Rai.
You're seeing false wealth through debt creation.
Came a day after Israel killed 7 Palestinians, including a child, and injured 14 in a missile strike
Oh, that's
on the
cool.
Gaza port, targeting people trying to find relief from the summer heat at a cafe inside a crowded shelter area full of forcibly displaced families. Al Jazeera reporter Hani Mahmoud said, quote, among those
Lightning
killed
bugs
was
have
one
made a
child.
small
The
comeback.
seventh body is also at Al Shifa Hospital, and according to civil defense sources, it's unrecognizable. They haven't been able to identify.
Yeah, you got to go
the
check
body
out
because it
stuff
looks
for
like the
yourself,
missile
Mystery.
hit
I don't know if you
directly
drive or have a car or
the body
whatever.
shredded. Journalist Mohammed Abu Salama filmed people expressing anger and grief in the aftermath of the attack. Al-Arabi journalist and contributor to the electronic intifada Asim al-Nabi reported from Al-Shifa Hospital as mourners grieved over the bodies of their loved ones just an hour after the attack. Asim says, quote,
What's going
"Their
on,
families
Todd?
are bidding them farewell for the last time during what is supposed to be a ceasefire. 2 missiles targeted a crowded area with hundreds of families in one of the most crowded areas in the Gaza Strip. 2 missiles killed.
I don't know, they had red eyes. They were weird looking.
People and civilians and residents. in
Boy,
the
Blue,
area.
just saying Al Jazeera is fake news.
Statements and announcements about inching toward an agreement for Gaza. The Israeli
This is
response
KPFA Evening News, the Pacifica Radio Network.
Responding with more airstrikes, targeting and killing Palestinians inside the Gaza Strip. Project Muhammad, a mutual aid organization in Gaza, was distributing bread to displaced families in the port area when Israel attacked. The project posted a video of its aid workers driving several.
Yeah, I get crickets around here. I don't know, Mystery. I wouldn't let what people say influence you. I would go see stuff for yourself.
And helping them receive medical care.
Look at this, man. We're just down to the nuts here.
And found ourselves
Terrible.
the wounded. It has been 313 days since the so-called IRL was declared, during which at least 1,273 Palestinians have been killed. The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, reported earlier this month that an average of one child a day has been killed in Israeli attacks. Quote, despite an agreement for the suspension of military operations and the full entry of humanitarian aid and relief 10 months ago.
They're going to be on the front lines, Dr. Frankenstein.
Said that, quote,
front lines of the future, babe.
An average of one child dead each and every day is failing children, with hundreds more children injured, many severely.
They're the vanguard of the future.
Waiting for the end to the violence they were promised. Families are now crowded into roughly a third of the Gaza Strip, sheltering in unsafe conditions among destroyed buildings, rubble, and accumulated solid waste, he added. The Gaza municipality warned this week that
Thank you, Russ. I'm going to go get a beer. I'll be right back.
As Israel's ongoing blockade of fuel, infrastructure, materials, and spare parts is pushing municipal services toward collapse. For the 5th consecutive month, Israel has prohibited the entry of fuel, according to the municipality's deputy head, Ala Adin Abata, leading to the paralysis.
Oh yeah, tomorrow's Friday, boys.
The lack of diesel.
We don't need a lot of stuff.
The total destruction of the electricity network.
But I do look forward to a night of drinking and revelry.
Sewage could soon overflow into streets and displacement shelters, accelerating disease outbreaks.
How when we have gold statues in Washington?
Deliberately collapsed by Israel lacks the capacity to respond.
We live in like the last days of the Roman Empire.
Approximately 10 million tons of rubble have
It looks great, but it's rotten underneath the surface.
blocking access and complicating any emergency response. In related news, civil defense crews have spent more than 40 continuous days pulling.
Yeah, you can look at all of my playlists, Boy Blue. There's tons and tons of repairs.
Basal reported this week that so far, rescue workers have pulled the remains of 170 Palestinians from 17 different buildings in the current phase of the prolonged operation.
Every civilization has an expiration date on it, Russ.
He says that dozens more remain unaccounted for in the same sites, and teams are moving from one destroyed house to the next.
Because human nature never changes.
As almost no equipment because of Israel's deliberate attacks on rescue vehicles, plus its ongoing prevention of materials, fuel, and spare parts. Basel adds that because of the limited resources, his crews are unable to reach most of the homes that still have bodies buried within or beneath them. Meanwhile, on the eastern side of the so-called Yellow Line, where Israel continues to expand its extermination zone across 70%.
I think our weakness began to be exposed in with the Iran conflict.
Are, quote, conducting a wide and organized operation to process and clear the rubble from neighborhoods.
It's very hard for us to sustain the effort. So we're trying to shore up potential enemies like Kim Jong-un.
Outside the strip, according to a new investigation by Euromed Human Rights Monitor.
Make sure everybody stays cool
Without any official
while we rebuild.
Removed or independent oversight, and before international and local investigative committees have had the chance to survey, examine, and document the sites. This risks destroying crucial evidence of genocide and the remains of victims still unaccounted for under the rubble. Euromed says that according to its initial field reports, approximately 400 heavy pieces of excavation, demolition, crushing, and transport machinery operated by Israeli civilian companies under military protection are active across eastern and southern Gaza. Quote, they demolish remaining structures, crush rubble from destroyed neighborhoods, and load the debris onto trucks for transportation away from the original sites. In recent
Well, at least he's minding his own business.
100 Israeli trucks daily leaving the Gaza Strip with
these days,
debris.
which is great.
These trucks carry rubble to undisclosed sites within Israel and further south of the occupied West Bank. The systematic removal of rubble at this pace, Euromed adds, conceals the evidence of appalling crimes.
Then South Korea said they don't want to be involved in any effort to
genocide, such as summary executions and killing
blockade
civilians. These sites need careful examination and thorough criminal investigation for any intervention that might change or erase their futures.
Bibi.
It has been 600 days since Dr. Hussam Abu Safia, a pediatrician and the director of the Kamal Adwan Hospital in Beit Lahia, was abducted by Israeli forces in December 2024. He has remained in Israeli administrative detention ever since, without charge or trial, and recently in solitary confinement. He has endured physical and psychological torture.
I don't think
since his abduction and detention.
Israel would thought that shit would turn out the way it would.
Sophia was beaten by Israeli prison guards who used hammers and
I think
they
just
and his lawyers said that he was being subjected to daily beatings, resulting
They,
in several instances of loss of consciousness, but without receiving appropriate
yeah, I think
medical
Israel
treatment. According to
had
a
some
report
false
from
information.
Earlier this month, Dr. Hussam Abu Safia suffered multiple
As to
injuries,
whether it was
including
purposeful or not, I don't
fractured
know.
after enduring severe beatings
Hi,
by
Kellyanne.
prison authorities on July 27th. The Palestinian prisoner's media office described it as the most difficult day of his imprisonment since being detained without charge. Dropsite noted that
man.
the apparent repercussions against
That was
Safia
good.
in prison following
I'm in
his
my
detention
house.
in his
You're
detention
deep in the
and
heart of
similar
Texas.
cases
Yep.
involving detained medical workers have sent a chilling message to the family.
Amy, what you want?
Particularly doctors that
For a
seeking
while,
justice
maybe
against
longer
illegal
if I
public
do.
campaigns can have severe consequences. As previously mentioned, Trump's envoy for the so-called border peace, arrived in Israel to meet with border leadership Benjamin Netanyahu. Commissioner said he told Netanyahu the U.S. would not restrict any attacks on Gaza by Israel as long as there are, quote,
Everybody.
threats, vague and deliberate phrases.
Amy, what you want?
This was just hours before Israel carried out
I can stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I
peace
do.
would establish working groups focused on the quote disarmament and militarization.
Russia going to invade us while we are dead. I don't know.
Which was not a part of the
That's a lot to
Hamas and the armed resistance factions entered into.
GTBM. That's a big nut to crack.
However, earlier this month, the Board of Peace did issue its first construction contract, not for housing for Palestinians, nor hospitals, nor schools, but for an outpost for a small battalion of Moroccan armed forces, which would rotate from a base in Israel.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit of a tall order to. What's it's a little bit of a tall order. Boy Blue says I'm listening to propaganda.
But not protect them against the Israeli military, which continues to carry out the genocide. The contract, which the Guardian said had not yet been finalized, was awarded to Arkel International, a Louisiana-based firm that has previously carried out work with the U.S. government in countries such as Iraq. Arkel
With
International
donkeys.
previously worked as a subcontractor for
Fuck,
the
it was
Gaza
New Orleans Saints. Thank
and
you.
registered as a foreign corporation in Israel.
Thank you. That was great. Hey, Hallie.
GHF was an aid scheme
That's funny.
that lured starving people into
With what,
confined,
donkeys?
militarized areas
Man,
where
I almost
Israeli
choked on
soldiers
my
and
peanut
American
at that one. How you doing, Hallie?
shot and killed at least
That was funny as hell.
2,500 Palestinians and injured more than 17,000 over
Listen
a
to
period
it.
of 5 months.
Boy
Not
Blue.
one
I
Israeli
listen to all
soldier
kinds of sources all day long and read papers.
has yet been held accountable for the slaughters at GHF killing field sites.
I'm not just one news source.
West Bank, where Israeli forces and armed settlers
But they tend to focus on Gaza all the time.
and carry out pogroms and forced expulsion operations. Israelis have continued to attack the northern village.
They don't talk about the shitty state of California's education system.
Soldiers have laid siege to 3 homes, obstructing the delivery of food, water, and basic supplies. Kusra Mayor
Yeah, that's good, Sandy. It's
told the Anadolu News Agency on Wednesday that the settlers continued to
the last of the paper. You might not agree editorially, but at least they can write.
while the area has been declared a closed military zone. Wadi stressed that the 3 families are facing difficult
Still a pleasure to
conditions
read the
due
New
to
York
the
Times.
siege and restrictions on their movement. He also said the Israeli army continued to control one of the 3 homes and use it as a military
That's funny.
base, while settlers remained around besieged homes. The area has seen repeated
Yeah,
attacks by
Bluebell.
Israeli occupiers in recent months to establish an illegal
Kelly, and there's
settlement
some really
outpost.
nice spots in Oregon, and there's some conservative places up there too.
A Palestinian American owner of one of the besieged homes, Luai Aburida, arrived from the United States to protect his family's property from an Israeli settler takeover.
Well, it's been a nightmare for the last 2 weeks, and it's even more terrifying when I landed and I watched a video that the settlers with the ATVs still able to come.
Hi, Sean. How are
And
you?
what's more terrifying, that they were shaking hands.
Eastern
with
Oregon should be pretty conservative, very dry and desert-like out there.
and remove the settlers. And this is the 2nd week. My brother and his son, and now I'm gonna be under siege, fearing for my own safety and my brother and son's safety, and I'm still demanding from the U.S. Embassy and the U.S. officials to provide us protection.
In the Jenin area village of Kabatia on Monday, Israeli soldiers raided approximately.
Well, I don't think they're talking about defunding the police in
dozens of Palestinians,
Oregon,
several
are they?
of whom were physically assaulted. Some were marked by the Israeli soldiers with numbers on their faces
That'll work well.
and arms. According to local reports, the soldiers threatened Palestinians from resisting settler violence, saying that they would bulldoze the entire village if settlers are confronted. The raid and detentions in Kabatia
they
are
watch
part
the
of a
Giants
sweeping and
everywhere.
escalating governmental plan to reestablish at least 4 Jewish settlement colonies in the area, which were evacuated in 2005. The Tel Aviv newspaper.
So you mean
highlights
Pokemon is still going strong?
in Borin, a village south of Nablus, on Tuesday, Israeli settlers installed dirt barriers.
Friday night I torture people with guitar.
So the settlers gathered
Thursday
along
night's
the
always a low night.
According to the Palestinian human rights group Al-Haq, quote, the Sufan family's
Elmer's back!
settlement has faced repeated settler attacks before.
No, I've heard people like crazy talk about defund the police in Seattle and Portland.
Attempts to break in and attacks on its
Shit, that was their marching order.
The electricity has now been cut for the 2nd time, while attacks on their home continue.
Well, that's the kind of stupid thinking that some people have and elucidated. Back in the George Floyd.
Effectively isolating the family from the village. Al-Haq adds, quote, this is part of an alarming pattern documented in several communities in the West Bank, where repeated attacks are becoming a gradual siege, isolating families in their homes from their community and essential services, to ultimately push families to leave. In the Jordan Valley, 37 Palestinian families are facing imminent expulsion after Israeli soldiers and settlers cut their water supply there as well. The human rights group
If I
says
do.
that more than 300 people, nearly half of them children, are facing expulsion.
Amy, what's
After the water pipes were severed. Israeli forces are reportedly preventing the transfer of water to the area where Palestinians rely on agriculture and livestock for livelihoods.
Yeah, Judy lives in Seattle. She knows that. Don't say that nobody said defund the police. A lot of cities said defund the police.
22 kilometers.
Let's be
The
honest.
United Nations Human Rights Office said that after Israel announced the plan for the so-called Crimson Thread.
Would they have Judy? They had their own little Area 11 or whatever, Precinct 11. It was no police. It was an independent nation.
Sexual harassment and assault.
Oh man,
Livestock theft and assaults on
I couldn't believe it.
Indigenous
They built up all these
Palestinians
barriers and shit. It was so embarrassing.
Israel are also facing
That apple tart you made, Mark Armstrong, half that baby's gone now.
Southeast of Tel Aviv,
And I'm not ashamed to admit that I've talked into that.
threat of eviction and home demolition after receiving orders from Israeli authorities. Citing the pretext of seizing land, according to IRL 48. Quote, residents emphasize that their families have lived in the neighborhood since committing paved the way for displacing the population and seizing the neighborhood for the benefit of separate groups.
This is how deranged some people on the left are, Boy Blue. They imagine a world without police would be an ideal world, as if human nature could be, as if they could wave a wand and change human nature overnight. Well, maybe they're a little band of freaks, they could. But you know what right-thinking people thought? This is an opportunity for looting. If people are going to be that stupid, hey, yeah, they called it chopped, yeah. Judy, I won't let people forget history. I will not let people forget the history. That's stupidity. Not all the left. I didn't say all the left thought that. I said it's the radical left, Buttercup baby, not the traditional blue. It's the radical left. It's so sad. When I used to travel, it was so pretty. I know they just gutted it. But they like the freaks that they elect for office. You have a mayor in Seattle that looks like she's a deer in the headlights. What corporations are going to stick around there? And once they're gone, they ain't coming back. Then they find out where the real money came from.
The police carried out the raid while the celebration was taking place during the year on the eve of the wedding. A video of the raid circulated on social media, showing dozens of guests being forced by Israeli police to lay face down on the ground amid overturned chairs.
Yeah, Judy lived right in the middle of all that crap.
The escalation of attacks led March.
Because Judy, she gave her love a cherry that had no stone. She gave her love a chicken that had no bone. And that's a long, long time. Yeah, the chicken with no bones, that's it. Some people like a chicken with boneless, tender fingers. You should play that at the Raising Cane's. Well, it's longer if I do. Ooh, 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 Amy, what you wanna do?
Explosions were also reported across Barashid and Bayut al-Sayyad. As the morning progressed,
Well, they're still talking about Israel.
With Israeli forces deliberately raising homes in the village of Beni Hayyan and carrying out another explosion in the open areas of a Mansouri.
Just think in the 1970s, Yasser Arafat could have had peace.
Similar machine gun fire and artillery
Huge chunk of land.
and the outskirts of Sheba.
One world saints.
Israeli troop movements were monitored, pushing
The
inland.
world is becoming like, see the stand.
Alongside artillery shelling
Yeah, it's
that
addiction.
targeted a residential home and intentionally set
That's
on
why
fire
when you're
villages.
in
As
China,
bombardments continue unchecked,
Yeah, they'll give you a chance if you're addicted to straighten yourself out. But if they ever catch anybody distributing,
leaving families to face the Israeli onslaught alone. Residents have expressed the need for
well,
a sense of abandonment, feeling
do I need to
entirely
elaborate?
betrayed by a state that has failed to protect them or secure the survival of their
Do I need to
jobs
put a
and
fine
villages.
point on it?
That was Rokaya Shamsuddin reporting for the Electrons and Fada from
Big
Lebanon.
boy blue, Al
And
Jazeera.
finally, as we always do, we wanted to highlight people expressing joy, determination, and
I think,
determination
boy
across
blue, you
Palestine
crack
and
me
Morocco.
up so much,
Gaza
man.
has
You're the
been
absolute
projects.
best.
We are not numbers.
You crack my ass up.
And worked with many young
Man,
players.
don't ever
This video
unsubscribe from
example
my
of
chat,
Morning
please.
from Gaza, where children still find ways to learn, sing, and dream, even when
Well,
their
it's
schools
too
have
much
been
salt.
reduced to rubble. This young girl
Salt
a
is
student at
flavor.
Samir Project's Hassan
Amy, we're going to add that to our repertoire tomorrow night, boys.
childhood.
Make sure you're here Fridays, rock and roll.
Across Gaza, children are attending classes
For
in
a while, maybe longer
spaces
if I
and
do.
because the schools they once knew have been damaged for
You
sure.
tell him, Sean Quinn.
UNICEF reported in 2026 that more than 90
Sean, would you like that when I sing that?
while hundreds of thousands of children remain without access to face-to-face learning, and still they learn, they sing,
I gave
carry their culture forward. We are
my
not,
love
he says.
a cherry that had no stone. I gave my love a chicken that had no bone. I gave my love his love. Oh, Roosevelt, you are so fine with Boy Blue always on our mind. Give me that boneless chicken.
And that's it for the news roundup. As always, go to electronicandfunny.net for much more, especially to read our new features by
Man, I love you guys. I love you guys. Texas, the state anthem.
Want to hear more? Check out our live stream, interviews, reports, and analysis, along with print articles, podcasts, and more at electronicandfunny.net. Produced by
It's okay, Miss Tree, if you don't ever worry if a retard bad mouths you, it doesn't matter. Hurrah, hurrah. For the millennials. I'll be honest, New Orleans, I don't know the definitive answer, but I can say I don't see the path out yet. I think it's going to be a multi-generational path. I think it's going to take many generations toiling, making bricks without straw to make that happen. Other than that, I don't have a lot of clarity. Blue's like, turn that shit off. I'm tired of that propaganda. Yeah, more emojis. How you doing, Dodgy? You do with the boots and dishes he gave you. I don't know. I have no idea, mystery. You're around somewhere. Amarillo by morning. Oh, Tish, you're the best, honey. Thank you. I like to listen to propaganda radio with Boy Blue in the chat. Makes me feel so fine. Israel and Gaza 24 hours a day. Our education system, hey, it just crumbles away. And which of these old buttholes cares about that? They'd rather be sitting on their fat. My white public radio, this is better. I get a free tote bag. Come on, Boy Blue. It's not going to distort my thinking. You think it's like it's already affected my thinking or something. You think I've been infected with it?
A school district in Omaha, Nebraska fights to get police officers to stop carrying electric shock gloves on campuses.
They gave people a shock on campus. I gave my love a cherry that had no stone. Oh, oh boy. No, I haven't heard from Amanda Hug and Kiss. Maybe that might not be a bad thing, Angus, because maybe maybe they're rekindling a little bit of love there, honey. I don't mean to be crude, but you know what I mean. I shouldn't have done that, but you know, maybe they found that old spark again.
Without their permission. These stories and more coming up from the studios of KPFA in Berkeley. This is the Pacifica Evening News. I'm Scott Baba.
Scott Baba on the job. This is Dry's Boy Blue crazy here. I don't know, Buttercup baby. Amanda Hog and Kiss had a very very difficult recovery from surgery or something. Oh man. Oh boy.
Interpreting what this economic pressure means. And this is going to be the greatest coordinated economic isolation in the history of the world. And we believe that we can save the freedom which was war against us and want this murderous regime. And if you insist on doing business with
This summer I went swimming, this summer I might have drowned. But I held my breath and I kicked my feet and I moved my arms around. I moved my arms around. This summer I swam in a public place and a reservoir to boots. At the latter I was informal, at the former I wore my suits. I wore my swimming suits. did swan dives and jackknives for you all. And once when you weren't looking, I did a cannonball. I did a cannonball. This summer I went swimming, this summer I might swim. But I held my breath and I moved my feet and I moved my arms around. I moved my arms around. Give you a little preview for tomorrow night. We're going to put Amy on the docket tomorrow. Any other requests we'll handle tomorrow night. Let's see. Hey, Dave's having a... Yeah, I'm guessing that was it, Buttercup baby. I wish I knew for sure. But you know, people come, new people come on, old people go. I don't say old, older people move on. It's always a constant shifting and things like that. But of course, she's always welcome back. We're always happy to see her.
Israel's military says it takes smuggling seriously and is working to
No, you're not old people, GTB.
for price relief.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Russia pounded the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv and the surrounding region with scores of missiles and drones in a nighttime aerial attack that lasted for hours and killed at least 16 people. This, according to Ukrainian officials today.
And Brew, yeah, they would have made or not Chad. I'm not sure. I really can't tell. Only the short. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to cut a little short tonight. Tomorrow night's going to be, of course, our drinking and our carousing. We got to do some shopping tomorrow night. I don't need a lot of stuff. I know I'm going to have to make another thing of soup sometime next week, but I want to thank you for being here. And it's a slow night tonight. I know Thursday nights are always like slow, but Friday nights are cooking. Make sure that you're here tomorrow night. We're going to have a good time. Mark Armstrong. I need to thank my moderators, Alex, Ronnie, Seattle Judy. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do. I appreciate each and every one of you so very much. And everybody else that takes the time to come here. Tomorrow night should be a lot of blast. I might try to make if I haven't been drinking too much and I don't light myself on fire at the stove, I might try making some ketchup. Yeah, there's Boy Blue. Don't fall asleep to the propaganda. Good night, everybody. According to plant management